temperatures first, and there you see what is the Schuylkill Expressway at City Line Avenue. Obviously white out, and this is the situation all around the area. The good news is mass transit's working, no major delays. There is on the Betsy Ross Bridge a trailer and motorcycle ban. This, by the way, is Sky 6 down at the airport. There you can see a little bit of traffic moving. Winds are the problems. Pico says a couple of very minor outages. Let's go outside to Cecily Tynan and get the latest on the weather. Cecily?
Well, I tell you, Mark, it is certainly nasty out here, and this is some proof. The umbrella is just being blown right inside out. The storm system really exploded once it got into the Atlantic. Show you on action radar, very slow moving. It's working up the coast. You can see heavy bands of rain moving into New England, but this moisture extends all the way back into the Ohio Valley. So we have probably at least 12 more hours of the snow, and as you mentioned, the winds, a big problem. Right now in Philadelphia, we have blowing snow, virtual whiteout, 33 degrees right now. Winds are gusting to 31 miles an hour at this hour, but could be gusting up to about 50 miles an hour. And the snow will be accumulating depending on where you are. Now, if you live north and west of the city, we're looking at the possibility of 3 to 6 inches of snowfall by tomorrow morning. If you live in Philadelphia areas south and east where it's going to be mixing with rain, probably about 1 inch. Right now the roads are wet because the surface is still warm, but it'll be freezing up over the next couple of hours. Be careful. Mark?
Okay, Cecily, of course, that is the key, the freezing, which is coming. The winds are right now. A couple of minor power outages, just minor in the area. We'll be back in an hour with another update, and, of course, the full story on Action News at 5.
800-367-KISS, and we'll send you a free vacation guide with information on affordable hotels and campgrounds. If you can stay here, why stay anywhere else? Kissimmee St. Cloud. Location is our biggest attraction.
Call 1-800-367-KISS for information about a vacation in Kissimmee.
WeatherScope. It's all the weather you want. Every 30 minutes on the hour and half hour on the Weather Channel. Weather. Every day it moves and changes. There's something happening somewhere, and we bring you all of it in WeatherScope, the day's top weather stories, with live on-the-scene reports during major breaking events, up-to-the-minute forecast for the nation and specific regions, and fascinating insight that lets you understand exactly what's happening and why. WeatherScope. It's all the weather you want. Every 30 minutes on the hour and half hour on the Weather Channel.
A major winter-like storm is hitting the Northeast with blizzard conditions possible. I'm Rick Griffin. Stay with the Weather Channel for live reports from the area.
This is a special edition of WeatherScope.
Good afternoon from the Weather Channel Forecast Center. We have a major storm on our hands over the northeastern corridor of the country. It's not a very fast-moving storm, but it is going to be a powerful one, especially by later this evening when winds could gust over 60 miles an hour along the coast of southern New England. Very heavy snow could start to take down some power lines and certainly some tree limbs and cause additional travel problems. And we've already had high winds and heavy rain over southern New England. Let's take a look at this storm from a couple of different angles. First, some video from earlier today, north and west of Boston. Rain mixing with wet snowflakes, and that's been the story all day. The rain-snow line has been collapsing or pushing farther south. As the afternoon has unfolded, we have heavy snow now reported basically from Boston, southwest of Providence, and down to Hartford, a very typical line or setup for these northeasters as they continue to work their way up the coast. Again, this is just the beginning stages of this powerful storm because we do expect to be dealing with it through the overnight hours, even into a good part of Tuesday. Despite the fact that the precipitation may taper off tomorrow, there is still going to be quite a bit of wind on the backside of this storm as it drifts away from New England during the day tomorrow. There's the setup. You can see the large comma-shaped pattern to the cloud picture that we're showing you now, very typical with well-developed storm systems. We also have cold air rushing in onto the south side of the low. Now, the surface low we'll show you in a moment, but it's just off the coast of New Jersey and south of Long Island. So with this colder air shooting in quicker down to the south, we've had rain change over to snow early today in New Jersey, and we have moderate to heavy snow in southeast Pennsylvania. And it looks like we've already picked up anywhere from 3 to 5 inches in parts of central western New York earlier today. And the snow has been piling up around Greene County near Albany. Reports of 8 inches. That was as of several hours ago. And we're going to start getting some additional snow accumulations for you as we go through the afternoon hours. Now, the current setup shows you the low pressure off the coast. It continues to deepen or intensify as it moves slowly out to the east-northeast. The wraparound moisture coming in from the Atlantic and into the cold dome of air gives us the moderate to heavy snow. That will continue through this afternoon and well into the nighttime hours. We do have plenty of cold air for the snow. You can see it's 31 as far north as Burlington, Vermont, upper 20s in Rochester, and then as you get away from the storm clouds and head over into the Ohio Valley, temperatures warm up very quickly, so that's very common. As we're going into the spring season, these storm systems don't initially have lots of cold air, but certainly enough in this case to produce the heavy and very wet snowfall. Now, as far as winds are concerned, there are several things you need to know. First, marine warnings. There are gale warnings from Fenwick Island all the way south into the Carolinas. From Fenwick Island north to Sandy Hook, New Jersey, this is a storm warning. Winds could gust over 55 miles per hour. And then Watch Hill east to the Cape and then north to the Gulf of Maine. That's where we're going to find some exceptionally strong winds materializing as we head into the overnight hours. Winds easily, at least out over some of the islands, could gust close to 70 miles an hour. And as you go north along the coast of Maine, a storm warning has been posted for the entire coast all the way up to Eastport. The winds again could gust anywhere from 55 to as much as 70 miles an hour. There's a look at the radar imagery for you, and you can see the extent of the precipitation, just a widespread area of snow across New England, rain along the coast. That rain-snow line continues to shift south from Boston down to Providence and Hartford, and then we get the all-snow right down to the coast of New Jersey, so there's just a little bubble here left of warm air, or relatively warm air, and that's where we have some very heavy rain occurring. Wouldn't be surprised to be picking rain up at the rate of an inch to maybe 1.5 inches an hour. A closer view shows you some of the yellows here reflecting the freezing level, not too far off the ground as you get into northeastern Connecticut. In fact, as we mentioned, northwestern Rhode Island probably getting hit with some heavier snow now as the rain-snow line continues to shift to the south, and that will be the trend tonight as the surface low moves south of Long Island. We do expect the snow to move all the way down to the coastal communities, and we should see accumulation even on the coast of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts late tonight and into Tuesday. So again, this is a system that has plenty of moisture, in fact enough moisture to drop 1 inch to 2 inches of rain and then followed by maybe 3 to 6 inches of snowfall. Very powerful storm indeed, and certainly we'll keep you posted. In fact, we'll have live coverage throughout this afternoon into this evening. We'll be checking in with several of our Weather Channel folks in the Northeast covering different